I was there at the 2819 event, literally Sunday, 24 hours ago, and I was one of the many people who didn't get in. So I got there around 3 o'clock when the doors were opening, and there was folks lined up ever since 9 a.m. like that morning. And there were people coming from all around. Like I came from KC, so that's a 12-hour drive for me. Some folks came as far as California, New York, Virginia, wherever. They came from all around to see and come to this event. And we got denied access. Like we could not get in the building at all. So when we found out that it was at capacity, I remind you, the stadium we were in, State Farm Arena, holds around 20 to 21,000 people. And 2819 is a big church, and it was free. So we were suspecting, they would at least took precaution or anything like that, but no. And we also had an overflow room for if it got capacity, and an overflow room got filled up to capacity. So there were so many people turned away, myself included, and we were very discouraged at the moment. So as soon as like the security and officers there said we had capacity, y'all need to leave, there was a lot of people who were, upset, discouraged, and things like that because they traveled, sacrificed a lot of time, money, and resources to be here. But God got a way of moving, and we did our own praise and worship right outside of the building. So as we're praising and worshiping right outside of the building, there's people prophesying, prayer being needed, and there were just so many people. Like God was moving outside, and even myself included. I was in the middle praying over a lot of people before I got really interrupted by somebody calling my phone. We did our own praise and worship outside. I was praying over people. There was multiple groups of prayer, and just like the spirit was moving, and it just showed to us that we don't necessarily need a building or a specific person to praise God. And that's what I was like telling these people in the crowd. I'm like, look, we are the church. Like the people are the church, not a specific building. But that's the reality of the 2819 event. A lot of people came through, and a lot of us got denied. And let me remind you, the folks coming to this event, a lot of them, they're very spiritually mature. They're very sound in their faith. And there's also a bunch of others who are very new in their faith. This is their first encounter with God, and they get turned away. So, of course, they got discouraged. And also, don't even get me started on the Hebrew Israelites that were there. They were like 400 deep, just yelling at everyone. But, God got away with literally everything. He moved. The spirit was flowing. So there was people who needed a word there. I delivered, and God used me. And there was so many others that God used. And it was all around just a great atmosphere. Even though the desired outcome that we wanted didn't happen because we didn't get into the building. And, I drove 12 hours just to be there and to get denied. I ain't gonna lie. I was hot. I was. But, God got a way of doing his big one. But at the end of the day, everything that we do is for him. Everything we do is to glorify God. Even though we couldn't get inside the building, even though we sacrificed our time, resources, money, and things like that, it was all for the kingdom. And God knows that he sees us. Now, just give all up to him. And with us being turned away, and we've sacrificed a lot, I honestly feel that this is literally a test from God. Like only a certain amount of people could get into that building, and others didn't. And it was a test our faith levels. Like, okay, look, y'all did all this sacrifice, and look, y'all got denied at the door. Are y'all still gonna praise and worship me? Are y'all still gonna glorify me, even though this isn't the desired outcome that you wanted? There was people who immediately left. They were pissed. They were mad. And there was those like us who stayed and still worshiped and still glorified him, even though the outcome wasn't what we wanted.